Division I football for 25 seasons, arena football for 15 years, and since 2005 he holds the position of National Football League Officials Recruiting Scout. Here to give you his perspective for a couple of minutes, please give a warm welcome to Rusty Spindel. Rusty?
Put these glasses on. Coach said I needed them for years anyway, so we'll use them. Give you a 5-minute intro to officiating 101. That's about what we're going to do here. My position with the NFL is a recruiting scout for officials. Yeah, we recruit officials just like the players are recruited. We go out and we scout them across the country. We look for the best that there is, and then we move on from there and try to bring them along, whether it's moving them up through the Division I, arena football, and NFL. What I hope to do is share some background with you on what we do as officials, what we look for, and the results we try to get. Share some stories with you. A term I call golden nuggets. A golden nugget is things that most of the fans don't realize what the golden nuggets are that we look for out there. First of all, I'll share this with you, and I'll pull away. That gets everybody, look, I got their attention, see? Blow the whistle. When we blew the whistle, people say, use the term, play till the whistle blows. Or the whistle didn't blow, the play's not dead yet. Wrong. Play kills itself. And people look at you and say, what do you mean it kills itself? Ball player runs out of bounds. That play's over with. Pass is incomplete. It's over with, whether I blow the whistle or not. Okay, so keep that in mind as you're looking at that. There's one time that the whistle does kill the play. The officials in here know what I'm talking about. It's when it's inadvertent. Boy, you don't want that. You're going to swallow that whistle when it happens. Let's talk about who makes a catch. This is called football. Foot. The foot's got to be in, or the feet, depending on which league you're in, has to be in before it's a catch. So what the official does is look for the feet first, and then the ball. He needs to secure the ball after he catches it. His feet are in, secure the ball. He needs to make a move with it, be able to lateral it, or run, or do a football move with it. That's what we look for in a catch. So when you're out there wondering how, what, and why, that's what's being looked at. When we have a bang-bang play, we call it hit, the ball comes out. That's incomplete. It's that simple. It's incomplete. He did not possess it long enough. There's a term that we use in football, one of the golden nuggets that I'll share. If he's beat, he will cheat. So that defensive back, when that receiver runs past him, you can bet he's going to grab, he's going to try to get in front, put his hands up, do something, but he's going to do something to cheat, okay? When we throw the flag, half the people in the stadium are mad at us. It's that simple. But you know what? We don't have a quota to make. We don't get paid by the flag. We just there to keep the integrity of the game. We're not fans, we're the officials. Another little golden nugget we use as officials. You see that receiver out there, he goes up for a pass, he's got one hand up to catch the ball. How many receivers catch with one hand up? You better look and see why the other one's not up, because pretty good chance the defender's holding it down. Okay, so that's one of the things we look at. We have keys as officials. And the reason I want to share the keys is because so many people say, oh, he's right in your area, you didn't throw the flag. For instance, where I work, widest receiver on the field on my side was my key. That's what I look for. Next man hit, the next man in, man in motion, depending on where you are on the field. So let's say my key is number 85. He comes out about 5 yards and goes across the middle of the field. I'm watching him. Number 45, who's the second man, he comes down in my area. We haven't switched yet. I still have my man. Something happens to number 45. That flag comes in from back here right at my feet. Fans are wondering, how come I didn't throw the flag? I'm the closest one. He's not my key. I haven't switched yet. We go man, zone, and ball. That's how we look at it as officials. I watch him for a certain period, then I zone up to my area, and then I look to see where the ball's thrown if it's in my area. Part two of that, when that ball is thrown to someone in my area, I'm looking from the waist up of the receiver and the defender, because the ball's not going to make a penalty. One of these guys is going to make the penalty, form the penalty. So when you see I throw a flag and the guy comes in and says it was uncatchable, you wonder why I threw the flag. Didn't I know it was uncatchable? I wasn't watching the ball. I'm watching who I'm supposed to be watching. When OPI and DPI, offensive pass interference, defensive pass interference, best example I can give, you know, when people say, oh, how did you pick that? Wide receiver goes downfield and just push off. Who pushed? Offensive guy, defensive guy. Who did that pushing? Everybody's looking at their hands. You know what we do? We look at their feet. Because the guy on his toes is the guy who did the pushing. The guy on his heels is the guy who got pushed. That's how we tell. People don't realize you're looking up here and then you go right back down to that, okay? When reporting a foul, we report to the referee who, what, when, where, time and circumstances in the sequence that they came in. You gotta know the number, you gotta know when it happened, when it took place, how we did it. And unfortunately with some referees, you also have to tell them what the signal is, okay? They didn't have real smart. We had some referees in the crowd, I just thought I'd throw that in. Our beanbag. Beanbag marks a spot. Many times it's used as a change of possession. You'll see the beanbag goes down when that punch thrown. Beanbag goes down, and so you can go back and find where the original spot was if we need it for a penalty. It also comes in play on a fumble. Here's another golden nugget for you. You can win a lot of money or a beer, whatever you want to do. Beanbag here, all right? If there's a fumble on the field, beanbag is down. That means we have a loose ball out on the field. You have an official coming in doing this with his hand up, that ball's dead. I don't care where the ball goes after that. It could be rolling all over the field. The official comes in with his hand up and there's no beanbag, you can bet it was not a fumble, guys. Talk about our uniforms for just a second. We're pretty protective on our uniforms. You gotta realize wherever we're going, we have to carry that uniform. We gotta carry it on a plane with it. Boy, since 9/11, so many things have changed, but you got a little bag that you gotta carry on there with all your uniform in it. Several years ago, I was working at University of Miami, playing with Michigan State in November. I kept watching the weather. I'm an old Southern boy, I'm from here in New Orleans. It's gonna be cold. I keep packing and packing and packing. I look like I put a little Michelin Man in my bag. I get on a plane, change planes in Atlanta. Gentleman next to him's got USA Today paper. He opens it up in big headlines. Snow to stop Miami's offense. I said, man, this old Southern boy didn't pack enough. He put the paper down, I asked him if I could read it. He gives it to me. I open it up, I said, Percy Snow, linebacker. Here's one you'll like on the replay. You know, when you're trying to figure out whether they're going to overturn it or go to the end spot, make life simple, guys. We're in that booth over there. If you see the officials writing, okay, what they're writing is the yard line, the time, the hash mark, when they're going to wind the clock. That means we're going back to where we were. We need to make all that information down so we know exactly where we're going. If they come out and they're not writing, we're going to the end result. How about that? We talk, officials have accountability. We're graded on every play. CC, correct call. MC could be a marginal call. M is a missed call. NC is a no call, and the IC incorrect call. That's some of the things that we're graded on. You're on a yearly contract on a week-to-week performance basis. That's basically how it works. So we focus. Sometimes officials focus a little too much. We were going to a national TV game, a college game. I won't mention the referee's name, some of the guys in here know him, but that week, the conference decided for us to put on a commemorative patch on our shirts, but they didn't decide that until Tuesday. We got the first game of the year, it's gonna be national TV, so they sent the patch to our referee, who got it Thursday, overnight mail. He brought it to the site for Friday, and had it set up with a seamstress, says, okay, we're gonna collect your jerseys, your uniform type, we're gonna bring it to the seamstress. You're taking my shirt away from me, we got a game tomorrow, you don't got an afternoon kickoff. No, we got it set up, no problem. He takes it to the seamstress. That night at dinner, we're talking about it, we're good. Next morning at breakfast, first thing, you got shirts back yet? No, they're not back. He said, but they'll be here for 10 o'clock, no problem. The lady promised me. He said, you know, but we should have done one other thing. He said, you know, we got 4 guys that wear extra large and 3 guys wear large shirt. We should have put our names pinned in the shirt so when we got them back and make it easier to figure who's who. See, that's a pretty good idea. Of course, we could use the big R on the back or the U or the L, and that would know who it belonged to also. You know, he was a little too focused on the game, okay? I'll end this with what I always get asked, have you ever made a bad call? Absolutely not. Some aren't as good as others, okay? I thank you for your time. If you got a minute, you want to take a question or two, I know we're in time. If anybody's got any questions, we're glad to try to answer them for you.
Raise your hand if you have one.
Uh-oh. Yes, Joe.
Yeah, but a beanbag. What kind of beans is on the inside?
Red beans. The kind that Jack and the Beanstalk used years ago. Yes, sir. Mr. Hughes.
The name Spindel, rings the bell. Were you involved some 15, 20 years ago in altercation with a fan?
No, the fan was involved with me.
There was on national television. Would you mind explaining that?
You said you were going to do that, huh?
I changed my mind.
Yeah. I mean, what he's talking about, there was an East Carolina Southern Mississippi ball game years ago, and actually it resulted in a rule change after this. We had a play that Southern Miss was on about their own 20-yard line, threw a long pass downfield. Receiver catches it, and as he's running and getting tackled, he does an illegal forward pass. I love people say an illegal forward lateral. There's no such illegal forward pass. And his teammate catches it and scores, but we got a flag down because it's the illegal forward pass. At that time, the rule, and no more time on the clock, puts the team ahead by like 5 points. Puts Southern Miss ahead by 5 points. So at that time, the only option that is given to the East Carolina coach is if you take the play, you lose by 5, or we take the penalty, we penalize them, and they get one on time down, which you'll see why the rule was not real good. They kick a field goal, they win by 2. Not happy. There was a fan that was not very happy with it, and comes over the fence and goes to attack my referee, and I happen to see him coming. The yellow referee, look out, the guy gives him a clothesline. I mean, it was ugly. Since Mr. Hughes brought it up, the next thing that happens is to use the ESPN quote, I subdued the attacker. My brother says the first subdue you hit him with was okay. He said the second subdue you hit him with, He said by the time you hit him with that third subdue, you're in trouble. It looked like police brutality, but anyway, thank you, Mr. Hughes. Okay? Thanks, guys. I appreciate your attention.